Hi. Hi guys. This is Reviews by Shireen. Today we're going to be reviewing a show that is featured on this all black streaming network called Allblk. It features black actors, black creators, black directors, and it's a streaming network that is on that you can get on your phone, your mobile devices, any mobile devices. And it's only $5.99 a month, annually $50 annually. The show is the network is very very nice. It has no ads whatsoever, and I am not being sponsored. I do want to let you guys know that I am not being sponsored in any way by this streaming network. But if I in the future, if you guys want to sponsor me, I'll be happy to do this for you guys. It is a streaming network that you can get on your TV, your mobile devices, anything at all. And I love the streaming network. I actually might keep it after this. Right now I'm on a free trial, but I actually might keep it after this, after I'm done watching these shows, because there are a lot of shows on there that I really like and I would love to review for you guys. And I think you should get this subscription service. If you want to add it to your subscription service, I think it would be one of the best streaming networks you can add there, next to HBO Max, of course. Okay, so what we have here is the show that we're going to be reviewing is Double Cross. It features Jeff Logan and Ashley A. Williams. Ashley A. Williams plays Erica Cross, and Jeff Logan plays Eric Cross. It also features Darren DeWitt Henson, who plays Detective Ryan. It starts off with Erica running from the cops in a 2 weeks time span. It starts off in 2 weeks ahead of time, and Erica's running from the cops because she's been falsely accused of murder. Which, actually, no, I don't think she's been falsely accused because she actually did commit the crime, so it wasn't false, actually. But in the beginning, it kind of looks like she's running away and she may have not done it from the cops. But once we watch the show, you kind of see she did do it. Okay, so we get through the point where we see that Erica is a doctor. Erica is a doctor, and her brother is a drug dealer. He is like one of those drug dealers that everyone knows, but he's actually a drug dealer with a heart because him and Erica had a little sister named Robin, and Robin was kidnapped when she was younger and sold into a sex trafficking ring, and she's now been missing for about 24 years. Episode 1 through 3. So in episode 1, it starts off with her running from the cops, and she goes to Eric's house. When she ends up at Eric's house, they have like this motto where he's like, they say twin powers activate. So because I guess they believe that they are smarter together and they work better together as a team. So when we get to that part, we see that she has a gun pointed at the window. He has a gun pointed at the window as well, and the cops are outside watching them. We don't get back to this until the last episode, but basically that's how it starts off, like that, and then we go into 2 weeks earlier to see how we got up to this part. We see that Erica is in the hospital, and she has her husband, who's this white guy. What's his name? Is it Brian? No, Bradley. The Bradley is the guy that she's getting married to, and Bradley, he doesn't like that they PDA. He doesn't like PDA at all at the hospital. So he tells her that he doesn't want them to know that they're dating. I'm like, you're engaged though. I feel like it's a little late to say that you don't want public displays of affection and you guys are engaged. By now I feel like they know that you guys are together. How would they not know if you're engaged and you're about to get married? Like, I feel like at some point they should know that you guys are together, versus you saying like you don't like for them to see that you are together with him. That might have been why she didn't know, like, that he was hiding something. I mean, you should have known that if you didn't want people to know about your relationship and you guys are getting married. I wouldn't want to get married to someone who doesn't want to tell people that they're in love with me and that they want to marry me. I wouldn't want that at all. Another thing that I wanted to go over is that when they were when they were in the hospital, when they're in the hospital, and they introduce his best man. It's just like there's this Hispanic guy. He has like a ponytail in his hair. That's the best man. So when they introduce him, I don't even know his name. I think his name's Mark. When they introduce Mark, he comes up to her and comes up to him, and he's like, what does he say? It doesn't matter what he says, but he comes up to her, and they hug, and Bradley's like, I don't like how long did you guys hugged, and I was like, why do you care? That's your best man. Like, you wouldn't think your best man best man and your fiance are sleeping together. Is that where we're going? Is that where we're going with this? Like, are we saying that she's cheating on him? I mean, the guy is kind of cute, but is she cheating on him with him? So we get further into it, and we actually see that it's not that he's worried about her and him. He's actually worried about how he is to her. And we see that he's actually, the reason why he's acting this way is because he's planning to run away with his best man. Yeah, I said it. He's planning to run away with his best man because his best man tells this beautiful lie that his mom is sick in Italy. Now, when you say your mom is sick in Italy and you love your mom, this is your only person that you have left, like your mom. Your mom is sick. You have some emotions. He had no emotions in his face at all, which lets me know that he was lying. He had no emotion in his face when he was saying, my mom is sick in Italy. Like, there was no tears, there was no emotions. He was just like, yeah, my mom's sick, she's in Italy, I'm gonna go over there and live with her, take care of her. No emotion whatsoever. I was like, the man is lying. Why does he have to lie? Because he's about to leave with the fiance. Yeah, they're gay. They're gay. They're gonna run away. Not only that, they're taking her money. They took $100,000 out of her bank account, and I think it was all of her money that she had. All of her money. They want to take it. Every single dollar. They took it. And then he has the audacity to go home to her after they just finished getting together. The audacity to come home to her, take a shower, get in the shower, and he has a condom hanging out the back of him. He has the audacity to do that. And she sees it. She's very upset about it. She sees it. She locks him in the bathroom. She locks him in the bathroom. She goes through his stuff, and she sees the passport, the ticket, the one-way ticket to Italy. That means that he's not coming back anytime soon. The money that he stole. So not only did you steal the money, but you had the audacity to bring the money back home with you? Are you stupid? Like, what did you think was gonna happen? Like, you didn't think she was gonna look through that at all? Did you think that she was gonna sleep with you in the shower, and she wasn't gonna realize that you had a condom? Like, I feel like you didn't feel it, but why did you not check you literally came from that situation, put on your clothes, and then you went in the shower. So you didn't even shower at his house or wherever you guys were. Like, you didn't shower there. You just went straight home. And I was like, wow, the amount of times that he's probably done this before. Like, he's gotten way too comfortable with doing it, that he didn't even think to check himself, to see if he had any evidence that he was with somebody else before he got home. So by the time she's looked through all of his stuff and she sees that he has the money, he has the one-way ticket, he has all that stuff in the bag, she takes the chair from the drawer and she unlocks it. Right? He's coming out and he's like, I can explain, and she just slits his throat. It happened so quickly. I didn't even process that she slit his throat until I rewinded it back, because I was like, wait, is he dead? like, is he dead? I didn't know that was gonna happen. She slit his throat. No, like, I didn't know that was. I didn't even see the scalpel that she was holding. I was so surprised. She slit his throat, blood everywhere, blood on her. He fell to the ground. Somebody calls her, and that's when the first episode ends. Somebody calls her. The second episode, we see who called her, and I assumed I already knew who it was. I assumed it would be the twin brother. I didn't think it would be anybody else. But it was the twin brother, Eric. He comes over. He was like, what happened? I see that you killed him, but what exactly happened? Like, why is he on this floor? And she's just like zoned out. She's like this for like a good probably 5 minutes. And then she tells him, like, tell me he was gay. And da da da. Well, he didn't tell me. I found out he was gay. And I found a condom. And I found the ticket. I found he's like, whose money is this? I found this money. And it's my money. He was going to steal from me. He had me planning a whole wedding. He had me planning a wedding. He manipulated me. And he made me sign a wedding. And he wasn't even going to show up for the wedding he had me planning. And you want me to let him live? You want me to let him live after this? He's like, you couldn't talk to him? You couldn't talk to him at all? It's like, I was like, in my mind, I was like, you want her to talk to him? Mm-mm. I actually think it was right. In my mind, I'm like, that was right. That was fine. You should have killed him. Actually, I probably wouldn't have slit his throat. I would have slit some other things, but not his throat. Then I probably would have killed him, but she did the right thing. I believe she did the right thing, but that just makes me crazy. But anyway, let's get back to this. So basically what happens is that when she tells her brother what she did, he's like, I'm not going to let you go to jail. I'm not going to let my twin sister go to jail. So you go ahead, take off your clothes, finish taking your shower, get rid of a body. Like, she has no idea what her brother does. She has no idea that her brother cuts up bodies for fun and puts them in a furnace. Like, he has an incinerator, so he could burn the bodies. So there are no bodies out him where they're taking these kids. Because as we can see, like in the second episode, we see that there's a new child taken. Her name is Keisha Jackson, I believe. And she's taken. And when she's taken, he goes to like some of his old hangouts where he knows sex traffickers and child molesters hang out, and he questions them. There's this one dude who works with one of the sex traffickers. He questions him. He takes him to his lab. The dude knows that Eric is bad news. He knows what he does. He still gets in the car like a dummy. I'm like, really? You know exactly what's going to happen to you, and you decide to get in this car? Oh, wow. So, this is the first victim. This is the victim that Erica ends up getting in trouble for because he dies. But anyway, and this is when Erica actually does kill him. So Eric, he takes him in the car. He takes him back to the lab, and he tortures him by cutting up his thigh. Cutting up his thigh. After he gets what he wants, he stitches him up pretty well. Because we later on learn that Eric has a doctor background. He actually went to med school. So that makes it even worse. Like, he's not only, it's like a low-key, he's a serial killer. Because not only is he a serial killer, but he's a serial killer with a medical background. So he can kill you and stitch you up at the same time. He can choose whether or not you live or die. And he's like a really good person. Because he actually does care about the people, certain people in his life. He cares so much about his sister that he kills for her. If you want to think about it that way. He kills for her. But anyway, so we get to the point where Chauncey, the guy that he kidnapped, he goes to the hospital because his leg is, even though it's like pretty messed up, Eric had the decency to stitch him up and wrap him correctly so that he really didn't need to go to the doctor, but he needed some pain meds. So he went to the doctor. The doctor checked him out. He was like, this work is really nice on your, like, they did a really good job. They stitched you up all nice. You don't even need to be here. Like, why are you here? He was like, oh, I need some pain meds because this hurts. So the woman comes in, and it's Erica, and he knows who Erica is. She's like, oh, you Eric's sister. Oh, no, I can't have you as a doctor. It's your brother is crazy. Like, I can't have you as a doctor. And she was like, I know you ain't just call my brother crazy. Like, like that's all she processed. It's like, I know you ain't just call my brother crazy. Like, why are you calling my brother crazy? What happened? What did he do? Oh, okay. You about to say something that's gonna get him in trouble. Okay, cool. Y'all could leave. Y'all could leave. So we get like they leave, and then we get to the point where he's trying to explain himself, and out of nowhere, she like gets this like needle, and she shoves it in his throat, and he dies. He dies. It's some, I think, like we later on figure out that that's actually potassium chloride that she injected him with, which can look like a heart attack that have no traces of has no traces in your system. So I don't know why I just told you guys that, but I guess if you guys know, like if you ever want to kill somebody with no traces left behind, is potassium chloride. But so she did that, and it doesn't show up on any of the toxicology reports. It comes up as a heart attack. So it looks like he had a heart attack, and he didn't have a heart attack. He just had a whole bunch of potassium put into his system. So we get to that part, and one of the doctors, the nurses, Nurse Brian, he realized what she did because he saw her. He was watching her, and he saw her like come out the office when he started to like. We found out that he was coding, and he basically saw her. Like after that, she called her brother and she told him like, I just killed that dude that she tortured. Yeah, I just killed him. And he was like, why did you do that? And so she went like while he was coding, like she could hear them in the background. They had all that like they had a whole commotion behind her, and while he was coding, she heard it, and then she went back to try and save him. She went back and tried to save him, and he did not live at all. He didn't live. So we get back to that part, and somehow, what's his name? Brian, he gets the syringe out of the sharps container. We don't see this part, but I guess that's what happens. He takes the syringe out, and he wants to hold it for later for evidence. That comes up in episode 3. So in episode 3, he goes to Erica. He shows up at her house. For some reason, there's like their addresses. I realize in this show, their addresses are easy access. They can automatically, people can know where they are. Like I don't like how that like the their boss just gives out their addresses at their home address, because Erica did not tell him where she lived. He just showed up at her doorstep, and he was like, I brought you back this phone, your phone that you lost, because she had lost her phone. And he was like, I got your phone, I brought it back to you. I was like, he took that phone, so he had a reason to bring that to you later. So he brought it to her later, and then what ended up happening is after he brought her the phone, he was like, I know you killed your patient. She was like, what? I didn't kill my patient. And what ended up happening is that, of course, he ended up blackmailing her and forcing her to be in a relationship with him, so that he wouldn't go to the cops later. And I was like, why didn't she just kill him? Because you have a knife right there. There's like a whole knife. I thought she was actually going to kill him, but I guess she probably just didn't want any more bodies, but she should have killed him. Episode 3, did I mention this? But Eric is actually being accused of a murder that he did commit on this guy named Busy. He died in the beginning. He is the I want to say he works with the sex trafficking ring that Eric is trying to get to the bottom of. Like he's trying to find his sister. So he does work in a sex trafficking ring, and this is a guy that he kills in broad daylight. So they have the body. The policemen have the body this time because he killed him in broad daylight. But I think he actually wanted them to have that body because there was no evidence that he had committed this crime. There was no security cameras. There was no gun. The gun was gone. The weapon was gone. So there was no gun. They had no evidence that he did it, but they know that he did it because that's what he does. He does kill sex traffickers. They didn't know why he did it, but that's what he does. They later find out why he does that, what his purpose is behind killing these particular people. So I guess he's doing a good deed in his mind, which makes sense to me. But Busy has a brother, and his brother is like 16 years old, and Busy's brother has a mom. They both have a stepmom. The stepmom is very, very mean and evil and just really abusive to both of them. And you realize that she's only using the brother to help her kidnapped kids in the Heights where they live at. That Eric actually finds out who Miss Audrey is. And when he finds out that who Miss Audrey is, he sees that she's actually the next door neighbor, and Keisha's been in the neighborhood the whole time. Miss Audrey finds out that not only does Eric know who she is, he knows what she does, and he shows up at the house, and he has his little twin with him, and they show up at the house, and they get the little girl, and they return her back to her family. They dress up in these cute little outfits, and they look like superheroes because they have like this little mask on their face, and I was like, really? The way that they filmed this was just like, to me, it was really nicely done, but it was kind of like childish when they had them dressing up in the masquerade outfits. I think they did that though because they didn't want them to see who they were, the little kids. So when Erica hears that on the news that the two twins rescued this little girl, she's very happy that she's being admired for that. Back to Busy and Kevin. Kevin actually dies in episode 3 of an asthma attack because the little girl gets out, tries to run away before the twins come and rescue her. She goes ahead and sprays roach spray in Kevin's face, and he has very bad asthma, so it makes it hard for him to breathe after he inhales the roach spray. And he's having an asthma attack, and the mom, like I mentioned, she's evil. She's just talking down to him and berating him, and she's like, I could get your inhaler for you, but I choose not to. I don't want to get your inhaler. And she basically lets him die. And we later on find out that in police report that his ribs were broken after he dies of an asthma attack. His ribs were broken as well. That's also helps him die, and she was really, really mean to him. The cops later go to question Miss Audrey about it, and Miss Audrey says, I don't want to go away. You have better people to arrest. You have murderers and serial killers to arrest. You don't need to be here. I don't want to bury my child. I just finished burying my first child. You guys can keep that body. You can do whatever you want with that body. But I'm not paying for another funeral. And that goes to show how evil she is. And she's not their biological mom, but she was a stepmom to them. So we later on learned that, Miss Audrey is not a necessary character. I think she just exits. I don't think she actually dies in the first season. I'm going to end the video here. If you made it to the end, congratulations. And if you want to see more, let me know. Like, comment, share, and subscribe this video. Bye.